bomb, my papa's son wandering out a smoking gun. Now some of you would live through me, then lock me up and throw away the key.
Yeah, but you had
I told you the story.
Yeah, before we had the.
No, you never gave me one.
No.
Yeah.
Did you tell the story on the podcast?
I did, didn't I?
Did you?
I did.
Yeah.
But what?
Last podcast.
That's a good flashlight story, but we can't be telling the same story twice.
Yeah, some girl, basically, Cliff Notes, girl wouldn't fuck him. He took her to a porn shop and bought a flashlight while she was staying with him. That's hilarious. And then that's the worst feeling in the world when you're like really attracted to a chick and really into her, and then you come, like whether you jerk off or something, and then you're just like, what?
Post-nut syndrome.
Yeah, post-nut syndrome.
Post-nut syndrome is huge, man. That's
life-changing shit. You realize how much your dick is kidnapping your whole brain.
You don't learn that shit till like
deep
in your 30s, and when you finally figure it out, you got kids, you finally figured out, oh shit, like no matter how much you think you want to fuck a chick, man, when you bust that nut, the truth comes out. It's just like, you remember that bit you had with the long bus?
Yeah. That's what it's like when your dick is hard. When you're in normal life, the bit was like, in normal life, you're driving, you're in control, you're at the wheel, you decide which way you go. When your dick is hard, it's like you're sitting in the back seat of a really long bus, and there's some other dude up there driving. But he's way the fuck up there, and you can barely talk to him. There's all this, all this noise, and you're like, do you even know where you're going? And he yells, shut the fuck up and sit down. And you just go, oh, this guy's a dick. I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, post-nut syndrome will once you figure it out, it's like it's almost like a trick.
It's a total trick because if you're not in like maintenance mode, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not jerking off on a regular basis, you can get frantic. Like guys can get frantic. Like someone needs to touch my dick. Someone needs to touch my dick. Like if you go like a couple weeks without beating off, and then you're around someone you're attracted to, you literally become insane. You become like an insane person.
Man, I don't know how many times I could have banged a chick. Now, this is when I was single, my single years. I could have banged a chick, and I thought about the post-nut syndrome, and I thought, you know what, I really, really, really want to fuck her right now, but god damn it, let me just jerk off. You bust a nut, you're like, thank God!
Thank God.
Thank God I didn't call that bitch. Like right away, you know that'll cure you.
Yeah.
You jerk her. If you jerk off and you still want to see the chick,
then you really like
you're
her.
in love. Yeah, you really like her. Or if you bust a nut and you don't want to throw her out the fucking window, you probably like her. You want to go get some lunch? If you want to go get lunch after you bust a nut, you want to go watch a movie or something, you really like the chick.
Is a real problem in relationships that nobody wants to own up to. And that problem is that women are essentially drug dealers. And that drug is pussy. And it's the best feeling drug on earth. It's, when you're horny and you're getting some pussy and you're like, I can't even believe I'm getting pussy here. When you're having sex, you're like, I can't believe this is even happening because you wanted it so bad. And especially if you've been on a dry spell.
Those towns where if there's a hot chick in town, by the time she's 16, dudes are already proposing and like locking that bitch down. Like, there's no way you're going to go into a small town and there's going to be a super hottie that's 22 that's single? No.
Good luck.
Small town? No.
Good luck. Somebody else.
College town? Yes.
Unless she just broke up.
Yeah.
And then even then, the dude's still coming around the house yelling drunk at night.
The dudes just knock those bitches up. Fuck it. They don't want to even, because they know everyone around them is trying to get a piece of that.
This is supposed to be a commercial for the
Is this a commercial?
I think it's still going. So
that's why
enter in the code name Rogan and get 15% off.
They should just rent out coma patients.
Oh, Brian. Eddie used to have a joke about that.
Veggie hookers.
Yeah.
Like super low cost hookers. They're like vegetables, and you just... Like how much would a vegetable cost?
Yeah.
To help pay for the
hospital
it's not
bills.
cheap.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. Keeping them on life support.
Yeah, that's what I'm
you know what I mean for the hospital bills. They don't have insurance. They have no choice.
That's right.
Dude, veggie hookers would be like $5, and they deliver them to like a dude wheels them in a hospital.
You just have to hire someone to clean them all day, like
No,
somebody
would,
in between sessions.
Since they couldn't tell on you, there would have to be somebody watching to make sure you don't abuse them. Put cigarettes out.
Hey, you know what?
Because otherwise, hookers can complain.
They can't even talk.
They can't even talk.
They'll be like,
so maybe somebody has to watch this happen.
She'd be willing and not this guy again. She's like, she can't move her eyes. She's like, fuck.
Yeah, this guy says creepy shit to her while he's shooting it in there.
Can you imagine pulling trains on veggie hookers?
Oh, God. Oh.
Hey, You got to do what
Don't
you got to
knock
do.
it.
It's better than jerking off, right?
No, because you got to think about this poor paralyzed person.
Yeah, the post-nut syndrome would be severe.
Well,
That'd
they'll
be
just dress them up. They'll
ridiculous.
put like sunglasses on them and like a nice nightgown or something.
Well, what's fucked up is
I would blindfold them.
You know there's somebody that's into that. You know there's somebody that's into that. You know?
There's got to be.
Gotta be.
You don't know that story?
No.
Oh, interesting. Well, if I may,
If you please.
I can't believe I've never told you this story.
I can't believe you haven't either. You might have.
I'm at Club USA in New York City.
How many years ago was this?
Oh, I don't know, 20.
Whoa.
I don't know. Well, I'm 63 now. Fucking, I just had a lot of work done, but yeah, I'm at USA. I'm a young man, and I'm dancing and with my buddy, and I meet this. I have a weakness for Latina girls, right? Little petite, curvy. I see this beautiful Latino girl. She's got this black ponytail. She's got that caramel skin. This cute little ass.
My dick is getting hard.
And I know. And this tight.
I'll stop touching
and
it.
she's dancing. She's dancing. She's dancing. I'll start touching it.
He said stop.
I'll stop touching it. Sorry.
So she's dancing. Okay.
And she's dancing, and she locks eyes with me with the eyes of a fighter. I mean, just looking at me, and I'm like, all right, well, that's my wife. That's my wife right there. I start dancing with her, and we're grinding, we're dancing. She smells like fucking apricots. I don't remember what she smells like, but for the story, she smells like fucking apricots. And we start making out, and I mean bub slapping on the dance floor. And sometimes when you're that attracted, everything else melts away. You just see that one person.
Yeah.
I'm a little drunk, and I'm kissing her, and it's romantic. I mean, deep.
Oh, God.
So there are these booths. There were these peep booths at Club USA where you could go in, and there was a glass thing where other people could watch you. So I take this girl into the peep booths, and I didn't give a fuck. Oh, there's a glass thing.
So other people can watch you?
They want to come into the booth, they can watch, but nobody
What
cares.
the
But I didn't
fuck
care.
kind of freaky
I was
club is
20.
this?
I was 23. I didn't give a
Right,
fuck. I was
right.
like, I'll fucking fuck you
Right.
right here. I didn't.
Okay.
Condom, shut up.
Right.
So I'm literally like, I'm gonna fuck this girl right here in this club, and
Right.
so you cuff me, go fuck yourself. I was just in love. I'm gonna get her. This is my girlfriend. This
Right.
is my girlfriend forever. So I'm kissing and I'm making out, and I'm feeling her body. She's got these little tits. I'm like, these are small, but it doesn't matter. Her waist, and she's so hard. And the ass was on another level. Yeah, she had a beautiful ass. And I reach down. And I go for, I grab a branch. I grab a fucking branch.
A branch.
That had been tucked under. And he goes, and pulls my hand away. And I immediately realize that was a cock. I've been deep kissing for 2 hours. So I'm definitely a little gay. I mean, deep kissing, and I just grabbed a cock. You ever felt?
How did you not know?
You ever felt a cock in tights? How did I not know, dude? Because
you can't know.
She
can't
was,
know.
She was taking hormones, obviously. Secondly, she was already had that skin, Latino or Filipino, whatever she was, where she just didn't have hair on her body. She was petite. I keep saying she.
You keep
she
saying
was such
she.
a girl.
Because he doesn't want to believe.
And but here's this. Ready? Here's why I'm a good guy. Here's why I'm a really fucking nice guy.
You let him suck your dick.
Nope. I looked in her eyes. She was so hurt. His eyes. He was so he was just like, please, let this be. And I'm such a fucking. I felt so bad that I go back in to kiss her. I kiss him for another 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and I go
on the lips.
Of course.
What?
I didn't want to be rude, you fuckers. Now listen, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Yeah, that's
I'm
totally
not done.
gay.
Ready. I go like this. I go, oh fuck. I have an ulcer. My stomach is killing me. She goes, you do? I go, yeah. She goes, do you have to go to the bathroom? I go, no, I just have to. I have a very bad ulcer. Sometimes it just keeps. So I want to protect her feelings. I felt so bad. She had his. And
so that's how you got out of the situation.
That's how I got out, and I left, and I did not come back to that. I used to date. I had 2 girlfriends for a long time that I had sex with 10 years after the fact. They were just my 2 girls. Loved them. I had sex with those girls, that we dated in college, and then I dated them right after college, and for the next 10 years, maybe longer, they were always. She basically was. She was the girl. Both of them were, my girls for a long time. They are down at a restaurant in New York City called Il Buco, which is a great restaurant, by the way. And I get a call from one of them, which is essentially like, "Hey, Brian, it's such and such and such and such, and we're hanging out, and we really wish you were here, and we were talking about you, and we were telling dirty stories," whatever they were saying. And I couldn't call back fast enough. I was like, "Where are you?" Like, "We're at Il Buco." I'm like, I'll be there now. I mean, I was literally like 20 minutes away, and I got down there in 5 minutes. I was saying to the cab, I was like, "Drive faster, drive faster." I get there, long story short, because I'm a team player, I call my best friend Jimmy Burke. I
come in at the good time.
That's it. I call Jimmy Burke. I say, "Get down here." That, by the way, is always the code for fucking there's something about to go down, and it always involves pussy. Get down here. He goes, "Be right there, gang." He's there in 2 seconds. We're drinking wine. I'm fucking getting them all plied up, talking about it. I can see the two of them, the two girls, are all over each other. And I'm like, "Oh, you want to use me as a bridge to have an experience with each other? How interesting." My two old girlfriends, who subsequently asked me to have children with them, by the way, just to use my sperm, which was very flattering, but I had to say no. But anyway, so I'm like that. Jimmy Burke goes, "Hey, guys, let's go back to I call him the maestro. He goes, "Let's go back to my place. Let's go back to my place. I'll build a fire, got some weed. I'll make some fucking chocolate chip cookies. How's that sound? Weed, fireplace, chocolate chip cookies?" They're like, "Yeah, okay, sounds good." We get to the place. He goes to the kitchen to start whipping up chocolate chip cookies. He's bringing out some weed. He goes to the kitchen to brings out weed, brings out a joint. By that time, I'm already naked on the bed with the girls. I'm already naked. And he's like, "What the fuck is this? This is fuck the weed. This is fucking great." And I'm like, "Okay, I got my cock and one girl's like working my balls." I'm like, looking at him. I go to Jimmy. I go, "I'd rather be nowhere else in the world right now, bro. This is the place to be. This is the greatest experience of my life. Literally, like I'm living a porn right now, and I love them. They're both my girls." So Jimmy's like, "Let me take my clothes off." He looks like a red bumpy pickle, by the way. He's fucking hairless, got a piece on him, and I'm like, that's just not attractive to me, but whatever. So he's trying to get this girl's pants down. He's got a tongue literally that goes, literally he could catch fucking flies with that tongue. He's like one of those frogs. I'm like,
people don't know what an entertaining dude this guy is. He's
idea.
One of these guys, like, there's certain people that they go from cradle to the grave and they never become famous, and it's a national disaster.
It's a disaster.
It's a tragedy.
We call him
national tragedy.
We call him the national treasure. He's the greatest.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He's a Joey Diaz type character.
Yeah, that's right.
Just one of those dudes
right.
that's just fucking hilarious. Yeah. Like, you're so happy you know him because you're always laughing when you're around him.
Why? Because he rides around, because it's at Christmas time. He goes, "Come outside." I go, "What?" He's driving down fucking 57th Street with a cowboy hat on, a down vest in the middle of winter with no fucking pants on, and I hear him go, "Deck the halls with balls of holly ho!" And this woman goes, "Ah!" and screams because he's driving, standing up on the pedals, and his cock is going on 57th Street in the middle. I was like, "You're the craziest motherfucker." He was 3 blocks away from his house.
There was a restaurant that I stopped going to, and I stopped going to this restaurant because the last time I went was with you and Jimmy. And the fucking waiter kept interrupting Jimmy's stories with some new bullshit plate that they're bringing over with some fucking description of where the olives came from and how the cheese is cured. And Jimmy's telling some crazy fucking post 9/11 horror story, about like hearing the bodies hit the ground. Yeah. And this motherfucker comes over with a plate of cheese. This cheese is brought to you from South America, and it's a type of cheese with that yak milk. Get the fuck out of here, man. Put the stuff down and let's be done with this.
There's nobody who tells better stories than that guy. Nobody in the fucking world.
He's so entertaining. And it just bums me out that a guy like that sort of...
Well, you know what, though? He always says it. He goes, "The life is my tapestry."
Yeah.
He just has such a blast.
He does.
And he always makes it a good time, no matter where that fucking guy is. He's taking this girl's pants down. He's trying to get his frog tongue in there. She's trying to go down on the other girl, so she's more into the other girl. As I'm making out the other girl, I'm like, "Oh, is that my cock? There it is." I'm just a fucking... I'm sorry to be this graphic, but the point is, it was just a fucking...
It's craziness.
Fest.
Okay.
So he's trying to get his... And she stops. She goes, "Wait, hold on. I don't like this. You guys need to do something together. I don't like this." And I look at Jim and we go, oh, we don't do that. I don't do that. See, I don't fuck around with guys because it's not that I'm
She's making you
homophobic. I'm
do
just
that?
not attracted to guys, and I definitely have a hard on right now, and so does my buddy. And there's no fucking. That's bad enough. We're about 2 feet away from each other. I'm not doing anything with my buddy.
And this is the girl that Jimmy was trying to eat out, right?
Yes.
Of course. So she's
Yes.
not liking Jimmy eating her out.
Right.
She's trying to
she
like.
didn't know him, and she wanted really. She was
Yeah.
more into the girl. She was into So she says to Jimmy. She goes, and Jimmy could give a fuck. He doesn't give a shit. He's down to go, and if he has to fuck me in the ass to get to this girl, he's gonna. He's like this. I can see the look in his eyes, and he's fucking like, let's go. What the fuck do you need me to do? She goes, I want you guys to make out. And we had done a play.
God.
We wrote a sketch where we make out as a joke. And I go, no, I don't make out with guys. It's disgusting. Can't do it. I can't do it. I had to do it. There was a part.
You said you wrote a play that you guys
There was
could
a
both
sketch-
make
there was
out
a
with.
sketch.
I wrote this play
There
just
was
so we
a-
can make
no,
out.
there was
Listen, I can't make out with dudes, but I did write this play where I make out with dudes, and I penned every letter. And it's unfortunate that it had to be that way, that I had to make out with a guy. But I mean, that's what I wrote.
Did I hear that?
It's what I wrote. It's called Kissing a Boy. But the point is this.
It goes, why is my dick hard? Why am I crying?
Why?
Okay.
It's called Why Am I Crying? And why? Anyway, so before I can even do anything, Jimmy goes, I'll fucking kiss him. He goes, get over here, you fucking pussy. I go to Jim.
Oh my
He goes like,
God.
he pulls me away. He goes, you happy? She goes, yeah. Goes down on him like that. So now I'm back to my girl. And we're locked in and we're making out. And all of a sudden I feel the other girl's ass hand around my ass. She goes, you feel good, Brian? I'm like, yeah, it feels fucking good. Whatever. And all of a sudden I feel like I'm not an ass play guy, to be honest with you, but I feel like a finger going in my mud whistle, if you will. If I can channel Chippy Schubert, I'm really going in my mud whistle. Lucky I don't got a sewer pickle up there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay. What the fuck? She goes, does that feel good? I go, I guess so. You're a girl. It went in Rome. I'm like, fuck. And I'm just so into this girl. And then I feel what feels like a Greyhound bus in my ass. You understand? A Greyhound bus in my ass. To which I go, oh, like that. Exactly what I went, oh, like that. And I turn around like this. I'm stuck. All I can do is go. I arch my back. I turn. I go, oh, like that. And my buddy's got his thumb in my ass. And he goes like this. He goes, you fucking pussy.
Oh,
and
no.
pulls it out. You know
Make
what
the bad
happened?
man stop,
Now let
Joe.
me explain. Let me explain why and how. She said to him, I'm not going to do anything more. I will fuck you, but you have to stick your finger in his ass. You don't have the balls. And Jimmy goes, what? I don't have fucking... Shut the fuck, gang. Like that. Like, he didn't give a shit.
Christ.
I was like, hey, guy, I mean, a little something here. I understand wanting to get laid, but to stick your finger in my fucking ass... I go, here's the problem. I got to tell all my friends now, otherwise we're gay. I
Tell all
them-
your friends. You
I
can
had-
tell everyone in the world.
gotta
You just
tell
told
everyone.
500,000 people on the podcast.
It's a terrible story.
The president
I'm sure.
brought it up.
I'm sure. Well, you know what? You know Andy. Andy's Andy. He's fucking crazy.
But the thing that he
You
said
talking about
to
Andy
him,
Dick?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man,
I was on a
met that
sitcom
guy.
with him.
That guy is nuts.
What happened with you and him?
He came. Is he openly gay? I don't know if that's a secret.
Oh no.
But he was. Like,
Yeah, oh, he's
saying
on-
some absurd stuff to me. One time I met him, and the other time, the first time I met him, I was at a hotel downtown in L.A.
Can I get you to talk like right into
Right
that?
here?
Yeah, it'd be a lot louder.
Hello?
We can.
There
There
it
we go.
is.
See, we can both hear each other great, but on the recording, people get pissed at
Okay.
me.
It was like we were there at a just a little bar in this hotel, and I'm with my manager and just kicking it, and he starts like coming on to me like hard, and then he's like I'm like saying stuff. I thought he was joking and everything else. And then he's like, he says, how old are you? And I was like 27. He's like, you're too fucking old, like that. And I'm like
Wow.
thanks, this and that. And he's like being absurd, and I just like basically took off. Then the second time I met him, he was with a band. Does he have a band or something? Or
Probably.
he was with a band at the Hard Rock, and I thought, and I was at the elevator, and his buddy's like, "Oh man, we're big fans." Some band they were with, I forget what band it was, and they're like, "Come in and meet the rest of the band." And he's in there, and he's shit faced, and he's like starts chasing me around the room. He's like taking a piss, like stumbling around. It's like the middle of the day, and he's wasted. And he's like taking a piss, and he like comes out right after he's done taking a piss, and he's like chasing me around the room, like, "Come here, you little fucker! I'm gonna, this and that." And I'm like, jump. I'm like, whoa, look at the fuck. His like pants fall down. I'm like, what the hell's going on with this guy? So I was like, I just fucking beelined out of there and was like, but he's got kids or something, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's got a bunch of kids.
Okay, well, I don't know if that was a secret, but
Oh, it ain't a
It's not a
secret.
secret.
No, he's
Good
crazy as
Lord.
fuck. I've worked with that guy for 5 years.
Did
And he's
you,
always
did
like,
you bang him?
"You were an asshole to me."
Did you ever bang him?
No, never banged him. Never banged him. We got inappropriate
For
a
the
few
story?
times.
I talked to him the other night, and I was saying, like, I was like, man, I want you to come back on so bad, but I don't
Fuck
know.
out of here.
And he
Get
goes,
the fuck out of here. What's wrong with you?
he's such a nice
What's
guy.
wrong with you?
Dude, he's so awesome.
Yeah, but didn't you just hear what he said? Did you just hear what he
Yeah,
said?
I know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
he
to deal
was
with that for 5 years.
wasted the whole
This
time.
guy, he doesn't want it. He never wants to believe that anything's him. He's like, "You're an asshole to me." I'm like, "Do you know what you were like, you crazy fuck?" He knocked on my door in my room and he goes, "Open the door real quick." I was getting changed. I open up the door. He's
Sounds
like,
just like him.
"You're in there fucking, aren't you?" And he had his dick out. He was like beating up. And I've talked about this before, but what's fucked up about it was he didn't even have the fucking. It didn't even get hard first. I mean,
You're like, look,
it
you
was
came
like
here to get it hard.
Not even that enthusiatic. This is it was
You'd
insulting.
rather have it hard.
At least
Oh,
if he was hard,
gosh.
I can understand why he was going so crazy. But it was
Okay,
just,
so I'm
it was
not alone.
disrespectful.
At least
he's
he thought
crazy.
you were
He's
cute.
nuts.
That's
He's
good.
a talented motherfucker.
He's
What he
funny.
is a really, really funny guy, but he's crazy.
Well, the
He
thing
doesn't
is,
mean to be a bad guy, but
he doesn't give a fuck, which is
Yeah.
interesting because most people do give a fuck.
yeah.
So there's that element of it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a couple people in this world that really don't give a fuck and are entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, and he's definitely.
I really love the
up on that
guy.
level.
I mean, it's just too much work. You know, I wish him the best, but it's just I don't. You know, the one podcast we had with him was plenty. When he started talking about how attracted he was to me, I was so attracted to you. We worked together.
My top 5.
I just work out a lot. I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of aggressive energy.
Just
from my
always have
childhood,
loved
too.
that. I mean, I was attracted to it.
Ew! Stop it! It's disgusting.
I think
But
a lot of people are. Do you,
You
have
have an
that?
addiction.
How often do you jerk off?
I'm pretty good about it.
Just like
I'm trying
once
to-
a day.
No more than once a day.
What
Never.
about your girl?
I fuck her
Every day?
whenever I want to. Settle down, creepy motherfucker.
We've got a drag queen, a pervert, and a drug addict. And I'm only talking about Andy Dick. Andy Dick! What a fruity bastard! I'm not saying Andy Dick is gay, but I will say he's been known to guess the flavor of a popsicle just by sitting on it. But don't get me wrong, I love gay guys. If it wasn't for these fags, us fat chicks would have no friends.
I have 3 albums.
Yeah.
What
iTunes.
happened to it? Why did it get canceled? What was the
Lisa.
issue?
Do you remember Lisa?
No,
You don't remember Lisa? She was an intern at News Radio.
the blonde girl
remember,
that became your girlfriend.
remember
Okay.
Tony? Remember Tony
Yes.
at Brillstein Gray? I remember her walking into that dark stage 24. What was it?
I
You
forget.
don't, because you're so high. You don't remember?
I'm not that high
You're not high anymore at all.
right now. Yeah, I'm high, but I'm not that high. I just don't remember the number of the stage. I probably wouldn't remember.
Don't
the week
get angry,
afterwards.
please.
See, this is what he thinks is
I'm
angry.
still thinking. No, I can hear it.
It's all the
hear
sexual
it.
tension.
Because you're building up crazy socks.
It's sexual
he builds up
tension
crazy
here.
socks, and when he wonders why, I go, Andy, shut the fuck up. You're just so angry. It's not angry
now I
for
can
no
hear it.
reason.
I can
It's
hear it
never
coming.
angry for no reason.
It's like-
it's reacting to your insanity, trying
So
to
anyhow,
overcome the
Tony-
environment that you're in.
Tony walked in with this girl, and I swear to God, there was in this dark stage. It felt like there was a shaft, like a beam of light, just coming down on her, and she was she was lighting
be
up.
yours.
She had to be mine.
She had to
And
be yours.
Tony looked over at me, and she told me this later. She said that Tony said, "Look, you can date anyone you want in Hollywood, but don't date Andy Dick."
So the same thing exact happened like a big guy
No,
trying to keep
no.
Andy from drinking.
He-
she immediately felt pressure to date Andy.
Yes.
Andy was the forbidden fruit.
Yes,
He
he
doesn't
sealed
even
the
know.
deal.
He helped
With
you
that
out.
sentence. He sealed the deal.
Of course, because
we went out
she
for
was
5
working
years.
for him. She was working for him.
5 years. The
So he
most
had power
beautiful
over her.
woman She still, to me, it was my glass ceiling on women.
So what happened? Why did it fall
Well, she's
apart?
married. We were both crazy.
No, the TV show. You said it fall apart
Her.
because of this girl.
I was sober. So
Right.
3 years of sobriety, and she really
I
helped
like
me.
how you
stay-
said that.
She-
Sobriety. You put an extra syllable in there.
I don't know, but she was key in keeping me sober. But
So she
I
left.
basically replaced drugs and alcohol with her pussy. I mean, I fucked her. There was one day I fucked her 9 times in a day.
That's
I mean, I
incredible.
just couldn't keep my dick out of her. If it was my choice, I would just have my dick in her and I'd go everywhere with my dick inside of her. I couldn't fuck her enough, and I fucked her so. People are
Was
gonna
it
look
one
her
of those
up.
things too where you're like, I can't believe she's fucking me?
Every time.
She was so hot.
Every
right?
time. So you remember.
She was a
her.
10, right?
Oh God, like an 11, and she's married now with kids. She married Madonna's guitar player. Now they're going to be able to find her. She's going to hate that I'm talking about this.
Whoopsies.
Yep, sorry.
You weren't married to her, were you?
No, we could have gotten married. We really were in love. I was, but it was lust. It was lust because I
Wasn't love.
remember not really her
Liking
company. I didn't enjoy. Just
wanted to fuck her
shut
all
up,
the time.
take your clothes off, and let me fuck you. Really.
For 5 years? You kept it going with just shut up, take your clothes off.
I
let me
wouldn't
fuck
say
you?
that, but yeah.
How did the show fall apart because of her?
Because I stopped putting any attention or effort or the show was like a pain in my ass. Like I can't. I don't want to work. I don't want to write. I don't want to look at what the writers are writing. I don't want to rewrite. I don't want to even show up to work. I got I'm like trying to hang on to my girlfriend, and then this horrible situation started happening with her and a celebrity.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, he was fucking her?
Yeah. We're sitting down, and he comes up, and I knew him. He's a very famous movie star. And I'm like, oh, hey, meet my girlfriend, Lisa. You know what? He teaches acting classes. You should take classes with him. He's great. He's like the best in town, I hear.
Oh, I know who this guy is.
Don't say it. What is his first initial?
Jay.
Yeah, because he probably did it with you.
No, I've
But
heard stories.
And then I would say within weeks they're fucking.
Yeah, he did it to a friend of mine. The same
all
thing.
over the
A friend of
place.
mine was dating an actress,
starting to get
and they
worked
were
up.
at they were at listen to this. They were at his house, and the phone rang. I guess his girlfriend was living with him. The phone rang at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and this guy is on the answering machine. Yeah, like he calls up, and she jumps out of bed to answer the call, and then takes the phone and leaves the room.
What?
Yeah, like
Was there
3
any
a.m.
movie playing on the TV, Joe?
I
What are you
started.
talking about?
Joe.
That might give a hint to.
No, don't, because I don't want
It
to pull
definitely
losses.
wasn't The Fly.
Oh.
There's no movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I was just talking about like.
Look.
Do you remember what?
Listen,
I'm not going to tell my story.
don't
now.
hate
I had
the
a story.
player.
I had a story
Good.
about
Trying to stop your fucking story.
Well, I started to record conversations. I have tapes of those guys talking.
Yeah.
I have tapes of her and him talking about how to get rid of me.
Whoa.
They were kidding.
Whoa.
Like, why don't you
get
go on
rid
a
of you-
vacation and you can take it? Literally, this is one of them. And take a picture of him, like at the Grand Canyon near a cliff, and just tell him to keep backing up.
Whoa.
Oh, it got really sickening.
Whoa.
That's-
Whoa. Someone's talking about killing you? You're going to pee again.
Nice, decent. You walk in, cross up there, and the mother was fucking banging.
Really?
I was like in the 6th grade. The mother was banging. And as we were leaving, I turned to Lourdes Ramos' mother. I go, hey, you should get dressed up. Maybe you should go out and get a little fucking pop. Dog, the next day, Lourdes came in. She goes, you're not allowed on my fucking block. Nobody has ever talked to my mom like that. Not even her husband. Her husband died. And I told her, Mom, you're looking fucking good. I was like in the 6th grade. I was
So you just didn't know you weren't allowed to say something?
No, my mom,
So for you, it was just being complimentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I was growing up, my mom used to always say compliment women. You know, let them know how beautiful they look. Like I remember one time.
What did she say to you, though? How did she react?
With the
when you hit
mother?
her? Yeah.
She was frozen.
So 6th grade is what? How old is that? 13, 12?
11. We were over there to go, like we were going to go to a play, and we all went over there.
Right.
And I'm looking at the mom the whole time, like, this Cuban bitch is bang. I didn't even have hair on my cock. I just had the dick without the stem, without the hair. But you're already getting hard-ons.
How do you remember whether or not
because
you got...
you waking up with that hard dick. I didn't get hair. I don't even have hair on my legs. I'm one of those people. So I didn't get hair until I was like 15. I'm half gorilla, but I didn't have hair until I was 15.
That's weird that you don't have much hair.
Nothing.
Like people would think you maybe you shave your arms.
Nothing.
But you don't. You just don't have hair.
I didn't have hair on my dick. I didn't take a shower with boys till I was like 15. I'd be the one in the corner with a towel on. I had no hair.
Wow.
No hair. So I had no hair, but I'd get so horned out. And I told her this once. I said, "You're banging, bitch. You should get dressed up and get some dick." And this lady looked at me and froze.
Did you actually say dick? Or?
I said, "Binga." Fuck yeah.
Really?
Fuck yeah. I could curse.
Did you say it in Spanish?
Yeah, I said it in Spanish.
Tell me how you would say it to her in Spanish.
Oye, tú te enteras, ¿sabes? That means that you're looking good.
Don't tell me what it says. Just say it a full
Oye,
sentence.
te enteras. Tú tienes que vestirte, salir, buscarte una cavia. And cavia is like slang word for pinga. Pinga's like modest. Cavia, I'm taking you over the top. It's like jerking off knuckle out. You know what I'm saying? That's like cavia. This lady was like a Catholic Cuban. I blew her fucking helmet right off with that.
That's a
Today's
But in my
secret
house,
word is helmet.
What was crazy was in my house growing up,
That's bananas.
my mom and her girlfriends would talk about that crazy shit. About eating pussy.
Really? Your mom and her girlfriends would talk about eating pussy
They would
around
play
you
cards on Tuesday nights.
and talk about eating pussy.
Talk about eating pussy. And when you get older, let me see your tongue. Go like that with your tongue. And I would show them
Get
my
the
tongue.
fuck outta
Listen,
here.
Dog, when I was a kid, my mom, on Tuesday nights, they'd get fucked up. And they'd make me dance with like tidy whities on for a bunch of women. They put on L.A. Woman by the doors. And I'd shake my hips. And my mom would say, "Dale jamón," which means give him ham. You know, when you go like this and make your dick go back and forth.
Give him ham?
Yeah, that means give him jamón. That's an expression. Like,
Wait a minute.
Give him
Wait a minute.
jamón,
So
right?
when you wear no underwear, I guess.
No,
You're
I had underwear
slapping
on,
your
you
dick
know.
back and forth.
I was like 5 and 6.
Your
and
mom is asking you to slap your dick back and forth and give them ham.
Like give them ham. Like that.
Oh my God.
And then they would all give me booze and I'd pass out and I'd wake up the next morning. Fuck yeah, my mom was the shit like that.
Oh my God. That photo that you have.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, the rest of that album, I'm making out with a girl at my 12th birthday. My mom had a friend, they were Puerto Ricans, and they used to try to always hook us up and shit.
Ari didn't even get laid till he was like 24.
No, they made us
You
take
were
pictures
making out
like
at
this.
12?
They made us take pictures like this. But I had already like eaten her pussy and shit and fucked her before that. Because we used to sleep over her house when we were kids. And she had hair on her pussy, tons of hair.
Oh, how old?
She had to be a year or two older than me. And our parents kept trying to hook us up, so when we got older, we'd fall in love. So on the weekends, I'd sleep on the couch, and she'd sleep in the bedroom, and I'd go in there. They lived in the Bronx. And she'd show me her pussy, and I'd eat her pussy. And the next day, I'd touch her stomach because I thought she was pregnant. I would always think I got her pregnant. That's how fucking crazy I was that young. Her name was Yvette Rivera.
We just come inside
If
of her?
you're out there, Facebook me, you dirty freak. Facebook me, because if you were sucking dick at 12, you're an animal now. You know what I'm saying? You got a fang with fucking medals on it, you dirty
my
whore.
God.
It's probably done.
Blowing you at 12.
She didn't blow me at 12. She let me eat her pussy, and I think I remember like fucking her, but then I would just pass out because when you're at 12 and you're fucking, your central nervous system just gives out.
Just shuts off.
You just tap out. You hear shit, but you don't know what's happening. And they ask you,
Hallucinations.
"Are you okay?" Yeah, that's what it's like, a Doors movie. They ask you, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm okay." You don't know fucking. But I still remember when I was playing kickball with Lucy Snorebush. And she,
That's not a real name, Joey. That's not a real name.
fucked up.
That's an iCarly name.
This bitch had a fucked up mug, but she was like 5'8" in the 8th grade, and I broke into a house one and ate her pussy one night on a Quaalude. I just couldn't take it. This bitch was banging. And after my mother died,
Lucy Snodgrass?
I lived with Bob Bender. Her name was Lucy Snorebush. And she had, bro. I climbed up a fucking ladder like oh Susanna, won't you cry for me? I climbed up the ladder, opened up a door. I knew she was out drinking, so she wasn't gonna say nothing. I just jumped on the bed, ate her pussy, and left like a burglar. Like her name was Lucy Snorebush, and she was fucked. Her grill was okay, but her body was banging from the time she was like 7. This bitch was banging. I was like 8. I met her. But she used to have a gold
pussy
pond.
on a Quaalude.
Broke into her house.
I was like 17. And as I was walking down the hill to the house, I'm thinking about whose pussy am I going to eat tonight? And I knew this chick was out. Like, she was out earlier. And whenever she drank, she was kind of loose dog. I went right into her yard, put a ladder in, climbed up the fucking ladder, opened the window. She's like, "Who's there? Who's there?" Don't even ask. I just fucking pulled the pants, ate a monkey, and climbed back out like a fucking vampire.
That's all you did?
She seen me like a week later. She's like, that was amazing that night. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
My window's unlocked.
Like a thief in the night and shit. I didn't even bang the pussy. I just ate it and left.
Really?
Like a doctor. Fuck yeah. Listen, I was like 16. I'd probably come in my pants already. I'm not gonna lie to you. And say like I had no dick left. After you eat after you break into a chick's house and eat a snatch.
Wait, you can't say that to someone, Joey. No one ever's done that.
I'm the only person. But I had made out with her before at little basketball parties when we were kids.
I know you're talking about that.
You never tried to sneak into a chick's house?
Did you eat her pussy on a Quaalude?
No, not that part.
Good pussy.
Not that part.
Yeah,
but you know,
pussy,
you add
16.
in plus factor in Joey Diaz.
What happened?
Okay, no. I see. You know, you're saying yeah, but never on a Quaalude. I said, well, that's what Joey Diaz. You got to factor that in.
Yeah, the Quaalude was good too. I was all horned up and shit. Though.
But with that would show that there are women out there sitting in the house waiting for them to be eaten out. Like she didn't even put up a fight or anything.
She knew me. I was from the neighborhood.
She's Lucy Snallgrass.
Call the cops for. That was the neighbor. She's Lucy Snorebush.
Snorebush.
What the fuck? What the fuck you gonna call the cops for? You know what I'm saying?
Man, what a
I knew
crazy
the mother, I knew
name.
the brother, I knew the father, I knew the whole fucking family.
How did she not get tortured in school just for that?
Oh, we
name?
tortured her. You know we tortured Lucy Snorebush the whole time. We used to call her Lucy Bush. You know what I'm saying? Lucy Bush. Fuck, dog. I'm telling you.
Any girl with a last name that's Bush, what a
Lucy
Jesus
Snorebush.
Christ.
And she's on Facebook. She won't be my friend, but she's on Facebook. She hasn't taken my friend request. You know what I'm saying? I think the therapist told her I was fucked up. What happened 20 years ago?
Gosh. I don't think I've laughed that hard in a really long time.
I know.
45, hoping somebody comes through a window. You know, at that age.
In the middle of that story, I turned and looked, and I saw the picture of Daniel Day-Lewis still dressed as Lincoln over there. He looks like he's staring at Joey like, what the fuck is Lucy Snawbush?
To this day, that chick is probably fingering herself, thinking about someone breaking into her house and eating her.
We're definitely sending the wrong message to young boys. Who are like,
And that was like the year or two. Because when I was a kid, my mother died, so now I had the green light to stay out every night. I lived with this Italian family, and they had 3 other kids, and they're like, fuck it, stay out. They play cards at night. They owned a sandwich shop in Hoboken. But at the time, in North Bergen, New Jersey, these cops got together, because I'm from a real corrupt police town, and they called this bar the Meadowlands Inn, and there was a go-go bar on Tunley Avenue. And on Wednesday nights, it was erotic banana night. For $2, they give you a frozen banana. And you walked into the strip club, you peeled the banana, you gave it to the chick, she shoved it in the pussy, she gave it back to you, and you ate it. It was erotic, motherfucker.
Oh, my God.
And Christmas Eve, I was in there one year. It was the first year my mom had, it was the first Christmas without my family. You know, and I didn't want to go home to this fucking family. I told this story to Felicia. I remember going in there one night, and the cops, he knew me. I was underage, and the cops were like, Coco, come in. What the fuck? I go in there, and I'm sitting at the bar, and there's this old guy, and they had like a stage in the middle, and then you sit around the side, but the chicks would put their foot and climb over. That's how, this is 1980, dog. This was strip clubs. You could kill a bitch in a strip club, you know what I'm saying? You could kill a bitch in a strip club for $150. That was on the menu for like 100, you get a table there. 150, you get to kill me, you know what I'm saying? So this bitch comes over with her legs. This guy's got to be 60. I'm about 16. I had calm, I ate a little pussy, but I wasn't a professional. I didn't know about the dirty things of life. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker took his false teeth out and stuck them in a snatch and put them back, and he put them in his mouth on Christmas Eve. And I never forgot what I fucking felt like after I seen that shit.
Oh my God! You can't unsee that. The second he leaves the room, I'm totally talking about how awesome he is.
Had a crazy experience in Texas with Alex Jones with Joey Diaz.
What happened?
Joey
What did I miss?
Diaz lit the Alex Jones show on fire. He went off. Alex Jones fucked up, and this is where he fucked up. He had Joey come on, and it was his idea to bring Joey into the room. He's talking to me about, what about chemtrails? What about what's going on with the environment? You know, what's going on? What about they're going to kill the dollar? So he's got all this stuff that he's bringing up with me, and then Joey's outside, and we're just talking kind of like straight, real conspiracy theory, Alex Jones style. But he brings Joey in, and we were at the end of the show. So he goes, well, we're going to go into overdrive right now, and we're going to overdrive, super secret overdrive. It's live on the internet, but you know, you can swear. It's all right. It's not FCC, but try not to swear. So he fucked up. He gave the green light to Joey. He let Joey know that Joey can just go off. And so Joey starts going off. First of all, he's going off about Cuba, about how
what did he say?
This is a free country. Well, the real, when it really went awry was when he started talking about smuggling drugs. He goes, I got here on the plane. I had the sack under my ball sack. I put the sack of weed under. I was stinking like a motherfucker. And he's going, no. You know, Alex Jones going, no, you didn't. He goes, no, I did. It was under my left ball. My left ball is bigger than my right ball because I'm right-handed. I thought I had cancer for a while. So he just goes deep, Joey Diaz. As Alex Jones is going, well, no, that didn't happen. No, he goes, it did happen, cocksucker. Obama, freedom of speech. So he's going fucking crazy. And Alex Jones can't figure out what to do, and I'm laughing my balls off. So as I'm laughing, you know Joey, if he's got an audience and that audience is laughing, Joey knows how to finish the deal. It rages. He
gets red. He starts getting sweaty.
He knows how to finish the deal. So he's going off about how stinky this weed is under his ball sack, and then he go through the x-ray machine, and he thought he was going to have to get arrested. And then the more Alex Jones protests, the crazier it got.
Yeah.
So Joey finally, Joey stands up. He always likes to stand up when he's going to end something and walk away.
Yeah.
He's in a fury, a frenzy.
Yeah.
He goes, Joe Diaz, Facebook, Twitter. He stands up and he goes, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Big dicks in your ass is bad for your health. Stay black. You doing sets?
I don't even know what the fuck I was doing. I was working out at Barnes & Noble.
So you were working at Barnes & Noble?
Working out. Yeah,
working out.
Oh, this is bad.
Like you do sets at Barnes & Noble?
I was working at Barnes & Noble and then working out during the day in the basement. Like I got fired from Barnes & Noble. This is the worst. I was working at Barnes & Noble in Astor Place, no fucking AC. And so every day you ever have a job where you lift boxes and as you do, you're like, that's a good buy workout. And you're like, oh, all right, I'll do a little bit of this. And if I do this all day long, I'm fucking jacked buys by the end of the summer. So I'd go down to the basement, and you could take the freight elevator. I'm going to sound like a psycho in 5 minutes. You could take the freight elevator to the basement, and no one could get down there because you had the elevator. And so once I got to the basement, I'd take off my clothes and start working out. And just like do push-ups, sit-ups, fucking curls with boxes, hold books out and do these fucking jobs, front rows, and I'd work out. And then there was no AC, so then I'd wait till I cooled down, put all my clothes back on, get in the freight elevator, walk up, and I just killed like 30 minutes. And when you have a job like that, to kill 30 minutes it's like fucking, God, I'm that much closer to being done.
Right.
So I'm like, and I'm eating Rip Fuel. Do you remember Rip Fuel?
Yeah.
I'm popping fucking 3 Rip Fuels every 3 hours, right?
Oh my God.
I'm like a tweaker running around, shelving travel books, going down to the basement, pounding like I'm in fucking Oz, just and then come up sweating like a motherfucker with a name tag on, and so like 2 weeks into it, my boss Dwayne pulls me aside and he was like, hey man, you've been spending a lot of time in the basement. And I was like, oh yeah, because I gotta get travel books and that's where we keep them all down there. And he's like, yeah, do you know we have video cameras? Oh my god. And I was like, I didn't know that. And he's like, you're fucking fired. And I was like,
wow.
I was like, Dwayne, I can explain. He goes, no, I can't have someone getting into their underwear in the basement, working out when they should be working, and then coming back up, and then interacting with people. And I was trying to be a comic, so I was trying to think alternatively, and I'm on speed, which is fucking... So theoretically, like, I would do funny shit, but it was crazy if you didn't know me exactly. Some guy told me the other day, we were doing a promo shoot for HGTV, and I did a joke at the end of the day. I go, is that funny? He goes, Bert, everything you do is only funny if you spent fucking 24 hours with you. And so, yeah, so I got fired. And then came home.
Wow. That'd be great to have that tape. If anyone at Barnes & Noble has.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
His name was Dwayne. I remember he asked me if I wanted to be a manager like a week before that. And I was like, no. And he was like, what? And I was like, he was like, you don't want to be a manager? And I was like, no. He's like, what do you want to do then? I was like, I want to be a comedian. And I was like, this isn't what I do. And he looked at me dead in the face. He goes, this is what you do. This is who you are. You work at Barnes & Noble. Don't think you're better than us. You're not.
Whoa.
And I was like, fuck, I'm out of here soon.
Morgan story.
I can tell it, yeah.
You can tell it?
Of course I can
Please
tell it.
tell the Tracy Morgan story.
Okay.
And we're going to end on this. Thanks to the Fleshlight. Go to joerogan.net, enter in the Fleshlight, the thing. It's like Rogan is the code name, and you get 15% off. I'm in February 4th. We're at the Mandalay Bay Theater. It's me, Joey Diaz, and Ari Shaffir. That's like a 3 headliner combo there. And then next weekend, not this one coming up, but next weekend I'm at the West Palm Beach Improv, the 28th, 29th, and 30th, and that is also with young and talented Ari Shaffir. So tell me what the fuck happened with Tracy Morgan.
Okay. I'll preface this. I want to be safe and preface this that my buddy Jay Moore does tell this on stage. We have an agreement. He's my friend. He's not a thief. Okay. I know that Jay is concerned about that, but he told me he's not telling the story anymore. And it did happen to me. So I don't give this is a true story.
So this is a true story.
It's a true story. So I was a young comic working at the Boston Comedy Club, working the door.
In New York.
In New York.
In the Village.
And I used to party with all the black comics because
You like to.
Yeah. And so we used to have a good time. And so then one night Tracy Morgan comes in. This is when he's starting to get back into stand-up after SNL. So like when you were a young comic and a new celebrity came in, you like had to see that shit. Had to. So I go in and I watch Tracy's set, and we have nothing in common. He's doing observational material, and his observational material is like, all right, yeah, okay. Who remembers finger fucking by the handball courts? and I'm just like, and he thinks that's a shared experience, like losing a sock in the dryer.
Right.
But like everyone else, and then he walks you through it. He's like, you put that bitch up against the wall and just pussy pop that bitch. You wouldn't even kiss her. Put your arm in your own stank. And now you have a visualization of like Precious getting boxed out at a handball court, making eye contact with passerby, just getting her pussy blown out by Tracy Morgan.
Oh, God.
But then he comes on stage and he's like, fucking, yeah, I'll hit that, man. I got this new bit about my dick being so pretty you can suck it with the lights on. Which is a genius statement because I've never had a blowjob in the light, but he just didn't word it right?
My dick is so pretty you can suck it with the lights on.
Yes. So then he goes, hey, you want to get high? And I was like, yeah. And because I'm a grown up. And so we walk around the corner and he pulls out this wreck of a joint, hands it to me, hits it, gives it to me. I hit it and it tastes like shit. It tastes like sweat socks. Like just like, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, you never smoked Sherm before? And I was like, what? And he's like, Sherm, baby. Angel dust, PCP. You never smoked Sherm before? And I'm like, you just gave me fucking PCP? Like, how did you know? Who ever taught you how to get high? Like,
oh my God.
So I panic bad, like hardcore anxiety attack. I go back to the club. I go to this older black comic who was and still is one of my good friends. And I go, hey man, Tracy just gave me PCP. He's like, oh, let me tell you something, shorty. Tracy doesn't smoke PCP. He's fucking with you. I was like, what? He's like, he's just smoking pot. He's fucking with you though. He's just getting in your head. And I was like, no, I smoke PCP. I'm feeling weird. And he goes, whatever you do, shorty, don't go to your house. You hang out with us tonight. So I'm like, all right. So I do my set. I bomb. We all go out. And Tracy is in downtown Soho, like right on Houston, right? And he's in a club that is like one of those railroad clubs where it goes all the way back. You have to like walk down a flight of 5 stairs to get to, and he's in the back. He's been there like 20 minutes, and he is holding court with his shirt off. Okay, shirt off, bottles of champagne covering his table. There's other tables that have champagne on it. He's buying it for them. I buy her a bottle of champagne right now. I got a pretty dick. Like just Eddie Murphy gave me this. Whatever the fuck he's saying is like loud and boisterous. So I sit at the table. And I think I'm on PCP, and I start ordering Heinekens separately from this wreck of a bar tab he has. And so I'm getting Heinekens, and then the whole night goes through. It's kind of an interesting, bizarre experience. But like 2 o'clock in the morning, and Tracy and the waitress comes up. She's got the bill, and she puts it in front of me because I'm at a table with all black dudes. So she thinks I'm their agent or lawyer or coach, whatever I am. So she gives me the bill, and I see it, and I'm like, oh, I can't. And Tracy Morgan flips out, and he goes, oh, what the fuck is that? That's fucking racism. You give it to him, he works the goddamn door. He doesn't do, ain't don't make any money. I'm the rich motherfucker in here. I'm on TV. I'm the rich motherfucker. And he flips the bottle of champagne table upside down. Now the woman's like, sir. And he goes, hey, and he takes his shirt and throws it in her face. A bouncer comes up and he's like, excuse me, sir. And Tracy just wham, lays the guy. And the biggest fight I've ever been in just breaks out all over. People are fighting, jumping on, and I think I'm on PCP. So I walk out on Houston and I start going, this isn't happening. This is imaginary. This is not real. People are flooding out left and right. And they're like, dude, that shit's going off. Tracy's got like 4 dudes on him. And I was like, holy shit. A minute later, the doors kick open and Tracy Morgan is launched
out of the club by the back of his neck and the seat of his pants, just up onto the street.
They put his shirt on him?
No, up on the street, shirtless, laying at my feet on the sidewalk. Doors closed. Second later, doors kick back open, and Tracy's shirt comes out end over end and lands on his head, and it's silent. And we're looking at Tracy like, fuck, this is crazy. All of a sudden, he looks up, stands up, takes his shirt, snaps it, and he goes, now that's how you get out of paying a check. This guy's crazy like a fox. He's the he fucking just walked out on a $6,000 bar tab.
Holy shit.
Getting kicked out of the bar.
But he really did that? That's all.
That's awesome.
I mean, did he ever have to pay for it?
I have no idea. I mean, I never. Here's the thing. I only met Tracy once. That was. You don't hang out with a dude more than that.
Oh, I would never leave that guy's side.
Oh,
I would have to be hanging out with him every day. I would have to be hanging out with him all the time.
Yeah,
especially if I didn't have kids.
I was just like Jay used to tell. I was telling you, Jay used to tell that story that had happened to me when we do stand up. And man, like people would be like, "Get out of here!" But like, I don't know Tracy, and I doubt he remembers the night at all.
Fuck.
And I'm like, and you know how stories go in your head when you start telling them a lot, then you like shorten it and tighten it and punch it.
Yeah.
And I've been telling that to comics for like 12 years, ever since that happened. And I was doing stand up for like 2 months.
That's hilarious. No, you weren't on PCP. You just thought you were.
I wasn't on. I don't know. I was
probably strong weed.
Probably strong weed. I doubt Tracy smokes PCP. I've heard him on NPR interviews say he's never done drugs. And I don't know.
He's never done drugs.
He said on NPR.
PCP is something that you would probably tell the person, even if you were a PCP user.
And I think here's the thing: is Tracy's got that like, I would say that like prison mentality of like he'd rather fuck with you than really fuck you up.
Right.
Like I think he'd rather get in your head than like fuck you. I don't think he's a mean-spirited person.
Right, he's just playing.
He was just playing with you, and then I'm the one white guy hanging out with all black comics, and so then that's funny that he thinks he's on PCP.
That's a great story.
But the best.
That's a fucking fantastic story, dude. That was one of the funniest stories ever.
Next time I'll tell you about when I was in the Russian mob and we robbed a train.
Really?
It's a true story, but I'm not going to tell it now.
Okay, dude, you're coming back again soon.
Definitely.
Folks, if you want to follow Bert on Twitter, it's BERTKREISCHER. Follow him, please. One of the fucking funniest guys we've ever had on the show. Thank you very much, man. That was so much fun.
Yeah, I had a blast.
And we will see you bitches on Tuesday. Holla at your boy.
Later.
Love you. Tell us what the fuck happened.
All right. This is in 1993, probably, I think, is when I went to Russia. I was taking Russian classes at Florida State. I thought they were Spanish classes because I thought they were Spanish classes because it was a noon class and I signed up and then I was like, fucking sweet, Spanish at noon? I could phone that in. And then I get there and they start writing in a new language, a new alphabet. And I'm like, all right, this clearly isn't Spanish. So then I said, I'm going to leave. And the teacher's like, listen, don't leave. Because if you leave, we can't have a class and I can't get my master's degree. So, but if you stick around, I'll talk to you after the class. I get done at the end of the class. She's like, listen, don't, if you don't leave and just show up at class, I'll give you a C. I was like, done. So I took Russian. I took Russian 1, 2, and 3 because these kids needed another guy in their class to take these classes. So then finally I take Russian 4 and we go to Russia. But this is Russia like when the mob ran Russia. Like, are you guys aware of that?
No.
Okay, in like the late 90s, mid 90s, the mob ran everything that had to do with Russia. So when going over to Russia, you had to literally pay off the mob in order to go and study abroad. So we paid off the mob, and they gave us in return 2 banditos, 2 young mobsters who would go everywhere with us. They lived in our hotel. They stayed with us. They went on tours with us. They did everything with us. Their names were Igor and Sasha. And when we got there, our teacher was like, listen, this is Igor and Sasha. They will be ghosting us. But my teacher, who was there with me, was like, they're in the fucking mob.
Igor and Sasha.
It's
like a gay guy named Bruce.
And they were oh, it gets worse. So they're like, listen, whatever you do to our class, do not talk to them. Do not interact with them.
Oh, my God.
Do not engage them. They are only here to shadow us. So in my head, I'm like, fucking get to know these guys, right? Like, get a bottle of vodka, a 6-pack of Baltica, knock on their door. Now, mind you, I speak no Russian at the time. No Russian, because I'd never studied in any of the classes. So first night there, I knock on Igor and Sasha's room, and they're having a party in there. Like fucking all their friends are in their room. They lived right next to me, and Kendra, my teacher, lived across the hall from Igor. So I knock on their door. Igor opens the door, and he looks like a fucking thug. He's got like a wife beater on, a cigarette, a beer, and he just looks at me in Russian and just goes, "Что?" And now, the second he says that, I start panicking. All the phrases I had in my head that I was trying to say all disappear, and all I say to Igor in Russian is, "I am the machine."
What is it? How do you say that?
Ya machinu. And so, but I just said, "Ya machinu," and he went, "Huh? Что?" And now I don't know what I've said. I'm like, what did I just say? I'll fuck you up? Like, and I go, "I am the machine." And he goes, "Say it again." I said, "I'm the machine." And then he starts laughing, and he brings me into the room. He's like, "Hold on, say it again." And so I say it to the room. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm like, "I'm the machine." And they're like, "You're the machine." And I'm like, "I'm the machine." I said that all fucking night with these guys. That's the only communication we had, is I said, "I'm the machine." And Igor and Sasha and I became best friends, right? We did everything together. If we went on a field trip, they would tell me, "Machine, you don't need to go on the field trips. Come drink with us." So now, cut to one day, we have to take a train to Moscow. Now, a different mob ran the train to Moscow, and a different mob ran Moscow. And Igor and Sasha were not allowed to cross boundaries. And they told me, they said, "Listen, we're not going to go with you, but we've taken care of you. We've talked to the mobsters on the train and in Moscow." Because we had to pay them too. They had to follow our
they
class.
weren't allowed to come with you.
They weren't allowed to come with us
because it's a different mob.
And we're paying a different mob now to protect us on the train. Wow. We're paying a different mob to protect us in Moscow.
Holy shit!
So they said, "We've taken care of it. Don't worry about it." So they take me to the train, and they introduced me to our two new gangsters, Igor and Igor. And
What? Double Igors.
I swear to you.
Three Igors out of 4 dudes.
Igor and Igor. There's not a lot of names in Russia. It's Alex, Igor, or Sasha.
What about Fyodor?
So Igor and Igor, my Igor says to these Igors, "This is the machine. If you give him alcohol, you'll have a great time." So Igor and Igor are like through the roof. They're like, "Awesome. Don't worry. We've taken care of you. We're sitting in first class. You're not sitting with your class. You're sitting in first class to Moscow." And I'm like, holy shit, this is what I'm talking about. And I bring another guy, John Bolshoi, Big John. I bring him with me to go sit in first class. And sure enough, man, we're in fucking first class. Just me, these two Igors, John, the conductor. I shit you not. The conductor, before the train takes off, comes into the room. I swear to you, rips off the band on this thing, says, "This is a present for the machine. It would be an honor to do a shot with you." And I'm like, oh, this is fucking right. So I do a shot with the conductor, and we pound this vodka within like fucking 30, 45 minutes. We're done all the vodka in the room.
Whoa.
We're drinking hard. And my class is all on coach, and I'm sitting in first class. And Igor and Igor are like, "Let's go get more vodka." And I'm like, done. These guys run the fucking train. So we get up, we walk into the bar cart, and Big Igor says, "Machine, grab a bottle of, grab some bread, Kleb." And I'm like, "That's bread. I'm understanding Russian." He's like, "Grab some siev, that's cheese." I'm like, I'm learning Russian. I'm looking at John, who's standing behind me. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Grab vodka." I go, "I know that one." And he's like, "Grab all the money. Grab all the rubles." And I go, "What?" I look around, and we're robbing the bar cart.
What?
The bartender's standing like this. Everyone's standing against the wall. And I'm sitting behind the bar with a handful of rubles, a bottle of vodka, and a thing of bread going, holy fuck. John looks at me, and he's like, "Just take it. Let's go." Take all the fucking cash out of the bar cart.
And what is the bartender doing?
Not making eye contact. And they're
everyone just lets it happen.
It's the mob. They ran everything in Russia. Everything.
Wow.
And so we get done and we go back to our room, and it's a totally different energy. Very sketchy, you know? And
Are you freaked out now?
I'm freaked out because I'm like, fuck, I just robbed the car. Like, no one else saw anyone rob the bar car except for me. And my teacher, Val, who's at the time was our chaperone, didn't speak any Russian. She comes to our first class cart, opens the door, and says, "I need to talk to you right now." And I was like, "Listen." And she goes, "I told you that you're in big trouble. Your classmates have told me what happened." Big Igor takes a sip of vodka, spits it in her eyes, and goes, "No one talks to the machine like that." I'm like,
whoa, he spit vodka in her eyes?
And fucking it is. And then shuts the door and then looks at me and he says, "Don't worry, I got you. When it gets dark, we're going to have a lot of fun." And he pulls out a thing of keys. He's got keys to the whole fucking train. He's like, "We're going to rob everyone when it gets dark." Now I'm like, fuck, what did I get myself into?
God.
Like, this is bad news. Bad fucking news. So it gets dark, and sure enough, man, we start robbing the train. Go through my class first. We'd fucking open the door. Little Igor would crawl in, pull the bags out. John and I would go through them and try not to steal, like, anything important. And Big Igor would stand guard, and if anyone woke up, he'd take a sip of vodka and spit it in their face.
What?
And it was, I mean, it's sketchy. Now it's sketchy. It's not even fun.
Are these guys armed?
No. They're loaded, though. They're hammered, pissed drunk. We robbed my whole class, and then and then they end up taking off and going into the car, and me and John are sitting in the first class car just thinking, we're fucked, man. We're fucked. We robbed the train. We've robbed the bar cart. And they come back and they're just fucking angry drunk, like piss angry drunk. We pull into Moscow and my teacher, Val, comes to the door, opens it and said, I'm just letting you know we've called the police. So I was like, fuck. So Igor and Igor are like, fuck it. Don't worry. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. This is Russia. Who the fuck does she think she is? This isn't America. This is Russia. We run everything. I'm like, ugh, I'm going to fucking go to the gulag. Sure enough, man, the cops are sitting on the middle, like the middle, where people get off the train, that little receiving area. My class is sitting there. My whole class are in the pajamas. They're crying. Their bags have been gone through. They're fucking giving statements to the cops, and the cops are writing them down. And I'm sitting with Igor and John in the fucking cart, and they're just still drinking and smoking. And they're like, fuck this. We'll take care of this right now. They walk outside, out to the cops, and start yelling at the cops. And I'm like, motherfucker, this is not how I would have taken care of this. I don't even know what they're saying, but they're just shouting, and the cops are shouting back. And then finally Big Igor just starts pointing at me. And I'm like, oh, he's pinning this whole fucking thing on me? Like, I'm going down for the whole thing? And then the cop starts pointing at me and telling me, Zidies, Paidom, or whatever he's saying. Come here, right now. So I fucking walk out, and it's that moment where you find the hash on your body. They find it, and you're going to jail forever. That's that moment, that walk, where your asshole gets cold, and you're like, this is it.
Midnight Express.
Fucking, that's the moment. And I walk all the way across this little fucking trail to get to him. I get right up to the cop, and the cop looks at me, and he goes, I understand you're the machine. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, tonight you party with us. I was like,
what?
All right. So then we went out and partied with these cops.
So the cops did nothing.
Fucking nothing. They were so excited to meet the machine.
What?
They were like, this fucking. It was a nickname.
Is there no one funny in Russia? Is that what it is?
No, there was no humor. There was no.
I got a drink with you.
Is that what it is? Is just no one funny, and then you come along and you're hilarious, so they're like, we're partying with you.
Yeah, and I was just loud. Like, there's not a lot of loud people. Like,
would you be willing to move to Russia to be their bitch and to like?
No. Dude, those guys scared me. One night,
How many nights did you party with these guys?
I partied with Igor on the train only, and then I partied with the cops in Moscow with John. And then for one night, and then we hid from them because the
cops wanted.
No, the cops were scary, more scary than the gangsters because they could not get in trouble. Like they were like, drive my cop car, and you're like, what the fuck?
Drive my cop car.
Just fucking.
Do they drive on the left side or the right side? Same side as us?
I don't remember. I was there for 3 months. You think I'd know? I have no idea.
I think they drive on the same side as us.
But they. I mean, like the whole experience in Russia was just. I mean, it was just. I remember one time Igor and Sasha had said they were going to get a boat for us for Russian May Day or Labor Day, and they were like, "Yeah, we gotta." They're gonna have a big boat for our whole class. We're all going out in the boat. So I get up early for the day we're going out in the boat, and I go over to Igor's room, and Igor's eating dried fish, drinking beers, and I was like, "What's the matter?" And he's like, "I'm fucked." I go, "What?" And he goes, "We got no boat." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, I've done everything to try to get a boat. I can't get a fucking boat, and we've promised the class a boat for the tour. Is supposed to have a boat." And so we're like, "Oh fuck!" And he goes, and then all of a sudden the phone rings, and he goes, "We got a boat." I go, "We do?" And he goes, "Yeah." So we start walking to the dock. We're carrying a fucking big case of beer, my whole class, cameras, and fucking their little passports around their neck. And one of his buddies just walks up, and he's like, "Hey!" And he's like, "Hey!" And then we just get to the dock, and there's a boat there, and we just get on it and take off. And halfway through, we realized the guy just stole the fucking boat.
Yeah. Really?
He just stole the boat, and he was like,
Russia must be just fucking crazy, man.
Insane. We went to a big mob boss party one night, and Igor's like, tells the mob boss, he goes, "This is the machine. This is the guy."
How does this all happen?
I just was loud, and then I was partying with Igor and Sasha so much that and they just tell their friends, "Oh, you got to meet this guy. You got to meet this guy. He's so funny."
Dude, we're gonna have to drink with you.
I never lived it down.
We got to do shots with Bert Kreischer. You got to be careful, man. You're
like
selling yourself as this incredible, fun party guy, and everyone's gonna want to do shots with you.
Oh, I don't. I'm fucking.
Are you friends with Igor on Facebook now? Have you tried to find him?
I don't think Igor's alive.